these things that don't matter because it is what it is.
Okay,
Well, there's Nevada
It's not
again.
like
That's okay,
it
but
does-
see,
let's stick with reality
see, Bobby
here,
Medford
folks.
would
Let
put
them move
me
to
in
Nevada.
jail for having a business that ought not be illegal too. But he would put me in jail for
I'm
it.
not saying he should not be in jail for other reasons. I'm just saying for the reasons he is in
Okay,
jail.
let's
he
I
should
just-
think
not.
all
let's
the
just
cops
stick
should
to
be
the
in
facts.
jail.
Let's
I
stick
think
to the
all
facts
cops
here.
Let's
should
stick to the
be in
facts.
jail.
If someone was in jail for opposing an honor killing, should he be in jail?
For opposing an honor killing?
Yes. Things are wrong whether they're illegal or not.
Wait,
Things
wait,
are
wait,
right
wait,
whether
wait,
they're
wait,
legal or
wait, wait,
not.
wait. I'm trying
No.
to get my head around opposing an honor killing.
Well, what if he was in Saudi Arabia or something?
What's an honor? Wait. Define an honor killing.
An honor killing is when a father kills his daughter because either she got raped or she dated the wrong type
This
of
isn't even
Muslim.
American society.
Or, in fact, in American society.
Yeah, it's not
Didn't
it's
wear
not
a
even our
habib.
culture. You know, we're kind of going from Bobby Medford to
Well,
Middle
yes,
Eastern
but
society.
that's a rather extreme example. But things are right or wrong regardless of whether they're legal or not. And it is not wrong to gamble. It is,
I don't think it's all right. Let me just say this.
Except
I
the
don't
extorted.
think. I
It's
don't
wrong to
think.
not pay taxes on the gambling money that
I
you win.
don't-
Instead of arresting them, he demanded a bribe.
think we should. I don't think. Yeah, if somebody wants to gamble, I believe that they should have that right. I believe people should have the right to do things like that. That said, I have a very low opinion about gambling
Right.
because there are many people that have blown their life's fortunes on gambling, and their entire family has been affected.
and Bobby
negatively.
Medford was one of them. The reason he was gambling, the reason he was doing all this, because he spent all the money at Harrah's.
Actually,
And-
we're not certain about that.
Well, it's one of the reasons. He did spend quite a bit of money.
It might have been strategic money laundering because gambling is a form of money laundering, or can be a form of money
Right.
laundering.
But I do find it interesting that one of the biggest people in favor of the video poker machines being illegal is Harrah's. Because
Oh, right, yeah.
because of the competition.
Yeah,
That's right.
Or so they say.
yeah.
Also,
Did you know that Hilton's on Harris?
Who manufactures the
Hiltons.
machines? Who are the stockholders in the companies that manufacture the machines, and who are the stockholders in Harris, et cetera, et cetera,
I have no
et cetera.
idea.
You see what I mean? Well, you really need to trace the money, and follow the money and stuff like that. I used to work in the coin operated amusement business, so I have a little knowledge of this. As a matter of fact, I've worked for a man who was the first man that I worked for in the coin operated amusement business, and I have to tell you that the reason I worked in the coin operated amusement business is when there was a big layoff from NASA. They laid off aerospace engineers, and Bally Midway was really smart at the time and saw that happen and picked up a bunch of aerospace engineers, and suddenly pinball machines changed from clunky old mechanical things that went cha-ching, cha-ching, and the numbers turned over and stuff, to digital. And when that happened, the people who had been in that industry for years and years suddenly had no idea how to handle the repair and stuff like that, how to maintain their machines. You see what I mean?
Right.
They knew how to file the points on relays, but a microprocessor would, So I answered an ad in a newspaper, and it said, someone with knowledge of microprocessors. Okay, now at this point I had no background in even basic. But I knew I was machine language and pinball machines and video games. At that stage of the game, we're looking at Pac-Man and things like perfect. So I answered the ad, and the guy held up a scoring display that has the numbers on it and stuff, and a little printed circuit board with some chips on it. And he said, "Do you know what this is?" And I took it and I looked at it and I said, "Well, it looks like a binary to 7-segment decoder and a set of drivers for the display." and
Wow them with nomenclature.
and this guy says, "You are hired."
very cool.
So
I need to know what that is.
So now this guy was an ex-highway patrolman, and I worked for other people in the coin operated amusement business after this. But this man was a highway patrolman, and he was the only person that I ever worked for that ran any illegal gambling machines. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he set aside the money from one illegal gambling machine.
right.
And used it in a special account, and he got a big chunk of the franchise of Pizza Hut. And from the money that was taken in 1 year's time on one gambling machine, he bought a jukebox to go in every Pizza Hut, and at least either a pinball machine or a stand-up video game, or in some cases one of each.
Right.
For every Pizza Hut in that franchise area that we that
On
we
behalf
took
of 6-year-olds
over.
everywhere, I thank them.
and that but the fact is that for the amount of money that came in from one illegal gambling machine, that was in a very good location.
Right.
That amount of income was so large that he was able to, in 1 year's time, establish what would have been an entire business for someone.
So we're talking big bucks on these
lot of money.
illegal gambling machines.
Now I can't.
And he wisely reinvested too.
I can't. Yes, I can't say specifically on the numbers and stuff like that, but that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And what I was talking with Don Yelton about it, and Don Yelton says that the machines can bring in for the operator for the location that one machine can, in a good location, will bring in $1,000 a day. So one would assume that the gambling machines that were, say, in the
Hot Dog King.
were they
They were in the Hot Dog
They were in the Hot Dog King. How about the Kangaroo gas station?
Yeah.
Where the guy that's the gas station that the guy from the Stompers has. Anyway, I think there were 3 sitting in the back of that. So if 3 sitting in the back of that were the questions, were they bringing in $3,000 a day?
Even if it's half that, it's still $1,500 a day. That's still pretty good.
You could get by on that. You could pay the rent and
Pay quite a bit of rent.
right. And so anyway, but I'm just what I really wanted to say was that I have some idea the amount of money we're talking
Right.
about. Also, I've heard Yelton and some of them say that these machines pay off more than they pay off at the
Harris.
yeah, and stuff like that. And I
I've heard cases in which some do.
there may be some out there. However, I highly doubt it. I personally do not believe that. Having again worked in the industry, the illegal machines are unregulated, and unregulated machines the operators have no reason to pay off high. They're not forced to legally.
Right.
And it has been my experience for the people that I have worked for in the past, for this particular ex-highway patrolman, that it was anything but a big payoff was what he was all about. And as a matter of fact, when one machine was in for and setting the odds and doing, that was my job.
Right.
So I have a pretty good insight about this. And something else that I have gained from that was the electronics that are used in these machines and the electronics that are used in the computerized voting machines are not exactly the same. However, they are so similar. The similarities between the voting machines and the illegal gambling machines are so close that I should suspect one could set the odds in much a similar manner.
Oh, does New Hampshire have?
I don't suspect that. I know that. Okay, excuse me. I know that. And knowing these things, this is my job. Okay,
Right.
so that's enough. I've ranted. Was that a good rant?
That was a good rant. I like
not
that.
bad. Okay, y'all let me do it.
That was more of an anecdote than a rant, but it was a quite good one.
Okay, go.
Well, so now we know. Now we know that the innards of a voting machine and the innards of a video poker machine
Are really close.
are very close and can be fiddled with.
I would dare say that it would not be too hard for an enterprising person such as myself to convert one to the other.
Anyway.
Seriously.
Oh,
There we
thank you,
go.
Matt.
Okay.
Oh.
And now the Mad Scientist Tea Party. He's starring Matt Howard and Casey Waters. Oh, what is it? It's time for the 420 roll. Oh my.
It's not 420.
Yes, it is. If you tuned in at 2 a.m., it is.
Oh,
And yes, sir. So if you tuned in at 2 a.m., you're about to see the 420 roll. It's 420. And here. Exactly. Yes. Oh my.
Actually, I have another family story related to legal prostitution.
You do.
this is the leitmotif of the show today is,
And I'm very proud. I'm
prostitution.
very proud of my cousin. Yeah,
Indeed.
she's a doctorate in prostitution. She's a doctorate in prostitution.
In prosecution.
Prostitution.
Prostitution. He's a doctor of prostitution.
Doctor of prostitution.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it. I didn't know
You
they had a
can't-
doctor.
Well,
I didn't know they had a doctorate.
One of those
in
make your own
prostitution.
major colleges. I've been to those.
They do. No, the major. It's but she's
Slow blues and jam. Can't do that, sorry.
yeah.
Oh, is that true? And why can't you? You don't know where it is? Is that you? Yeah, that's it. What kind of tempo are you? Well, not like doggedly slow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Big-legged woman, baby, keep your dresses down. I said, big-legged woman, child, would you please keep that dress down? Would make a rabbit a hug a hound. I'm short, big legs, big legs. Big legs is all I crave. I'm crying, big legs, big legs. Big legs is all I crave. A big-legged mama can make a king-size man like me her slave. And when it's cold and wintry outside, baby, I love it when you lay them big fat warm legs on me. When it's cold and wintry and raining and snowing and sleeting and hailing and 10 feet deep in damn ice, I love shining bright. I want you to come along with me, pretty mama. Take a nice long ride in my automobile. I want you to come along with me, pretty baby. Take a nice long leisurely ride in Mr. Wilson's convertible custom stick shift built-in overdrive automobile. The way you love me, darling. God damn it, woman, you don't know how you make me feel.
Wasn't that great?
It was great.
Great production value.
That was great production value. I read the results of the study where they had like 50 people go into a mental institution and pretend to be crazy. And they had the doctors examine them. They examined everybody in the mental institution. And the doctors had to say which ones you thought were actually crazy and which ones you thought were pretending to be crazy. They had no idea.
Oh.
So
okay.
you cannot evidently you cannot tell who's crazy and who's sane in a mental institution without the special stamp on your hand.
They put those little bracelets on you. Why do you think they put those little? Well, the sound was down. Maybe you weren't aware of that.
I assumed. Well, I looked over. I didn't see anything.
You want
there,
to
so
pull up a chair?
Yeah, there's a chair right behind
That's
me.
why that chair is
Yeah.
there. Is for the end. And I saved your cup. I believe this was your cup, or you can grab new cups out from right here.
I have already imbibed many fluids today.
Indeed.
Have
All
we just
caffeinated, but I think I'm good for now. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
All right.
go.
Let me show you. Let me show you this.
Okay, should I tell her
Did you
Melissa
see?
didn't
I
work
showed you
here?
that, right? Oh, okay.
this is your cousin?
My cousin, my cousin of whom I'm very proud is a doctor of prostitution.
Right,
which is-
yes, doctor of
Actually,
prostitution.
probably says social work on the diploma, but
A
from
doctor of prostitution.
A man
but
can
she's a
dream, can't
prostitution
he?
specialist. Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
A man chasing
from
his
Cornell.
dream.
And okay, so her roots are in this area, but the ancestor, and I'm not quite sure, she's like a third cousin, so my great grandfather, or maybe two greats, was from this area.
Mhm.
And the son moved to New York and joined the Merchant Marine, and was on the Murmansk run, which is where the ships were supplying Russia, going up past Norway, and died. And then Germans got him, and he died.
Okay.
And he's going up past German-occupied Norway in World War II. To
That'd do it.
Murmansk, which is in northern Russia.
Okay.
But her, now I don't know if it's his daughter or granddaughter, then went to Cornell and majored in probably social work, but is a prostitution specialist. And she is, you can Google her, Melissa Ditmore,
Okay.
and
Excuse me?
have her.
Excuse me. What
articles
was her name?
Melissa Ditmore.
Ditmore. Okay. Okay.
And she'll come up with her scholarly articles on prostitution rights and sex workers' rights, and she has an article in the Nation, and myths and realities of human trafficking, and she's one of these experts, and she was I think she applied for the population, or thinking about applying for the Population Council, which is one of the New York. One problem with the population movement is it's all a bunch of scholarly doctors. And you Google on the regular internet, you have to go to these scholarly works
Okay.
to really see what the population movement is all about, because they've kind of retreated from politics into the ivory towers.
Right.
But anyway, she's a real expert. I try to be in the shoestring political side of the population movement, but her articles are the real professional.
Okay.
They're the real professional sociology.
I just want to say
in both
good
the
for her.
population and the sex
Good for
worker
her.
rights movement.
I applaud her passion.
Alrighty.
Okay. We'll
And
talk.
Moving on.
she's from this area. She's
Moving
Ditmore
on.
family.
Moving
I
on.
don't think
Was I
she's
going to
grandpa.
Moving right
I
along.
was-
Okay. Now,
Oh, yes.
talking about the what is it, the I don't know, academic areas and stuff like that we have here with us. Noted meteorologist and philosopher Casey Waters. And
Hey, Casey.
And you, yes, and I thought you might want to say, hey Judson, wait, give
Yeah,
a what?
hello Judson. Hopefully you're still watching now. and hello Peggy. In case Peggy won't be watching because she's out of town. So
Let's
never
see.
mind that.
Or just
You know,
has
my
better
sister's
sense
out
than
of
you.
town, but Judson should be watching now.
All right.
And
So we know we have someone
So
watching.
that mic's not fixed yet from when someone knocked it
No,
off?
it got broke. So
So you're trying to rig it right now.
yeah, so I'm gonna stick some paper in there and stuff.
Wouldn't something that more stiff work better?
Yeah, you generally things more stiff work better. Stiff things
what were
work
you
better
going? About
than
oh,
limp
you're in.
things. Yes, you want
The
She's just
Like a matchstick. I'd be
bit-
sticking a matchstick in there.
that's working pretty good.
bit of live
Oh, yeah.
television brilliance we had last night. Have we discussed that?
Oh, I wanted to say something about the Casey Waters show. Will be on premieres every Sunday.
It's on every Sunday at 9:00 here on your TV.
Every Sunday at 9:00.
And
what will the upcoming episode be about?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to film the upcoming episode in a couple of days. The tentative title selected is The White Floor. And what the show is about is basically freedom of religion kind of thing. And when I'm talking about freedom of religion, I'm kind of pushing the envelope here. And my assumptions going into this concept of this show is that most organized religions, if not all of them, don't always encourage formation of new ideas or formation of new attitudes.
Are you saying
or
that they try to keep you...
empowerment of the people themselves to operate directly to God or their spiritual authority directly on their own?
Are you saying that religion doesn't encourage intellectual thinking?
Yeah, that's part of it. And what it is
organized religion.
Organized
religion discourages intellectual questioning and thought.
Yeah, in general it does.
That's kind of radical.
And I'm talking about the religion itself in the sense that maybe there's a possibility of looking at things in a little bit different way sometimes than the organized religion does. And so this white floor thing is an area of perspective. It's basically what it refers to, where you could really go way on out there in your mind and say, okay, what's the biggest perspective out there and what are the implications of it? Because the thing is, the more assumptions you make with religion, that things have to be just so and so for you to be enlightened or make it to heaven or whatever, the more assumptions you make, the more restricted you are. Mm-hmm. It's like chaining yourself down. And if you lift some, you don't have to lift all of them. I mean, obviously morals and whatnot are there for a good reason, but other ones, let's say women priests being prohibited by the Catholic Church, just to pick an example right off the top.
Or contraception.
Yeah, or contraception being
close to your heart.
Strongly discouraged. Or maybe these things need to be reevaluated. And so to do it is to make the assumption that the individual has more religious discretion and more religious power for forming ideas and forming their judgment. So they don't always have to go to their higher authorities for judgment. They can rely on themselves. And then similarly with the succession motif, the judgment there would be, oh, the risk ain't so bad. We can risk terrorist attack. We can take on risk so we have less government control over us and less expense over us. Let's have less restrictions and more risk. And it sounds kind of like going contrary. It's like swimming upstream, because from the Bush administration, you always hear how great the terror risk is. It might not be as great as you suspect it is. And if you go under the assumption it's less, and you have less aggressive military posture, and you withdraw from Iraq, and blah, 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 maybe the rest of the world will you start being a little more open to us. No, President Bush did make a surprise favorable proposition today.
What's he do?
Which literally kind of floored me, but I thought he said something about the Palestinians getting their land back to the pre-1967 borders.
I know. I've been
which was
hearing
always
something
one of-
like that. I'm
No.
not sure I'm hearing that quite right.
No, yeah, of course he said that. They all say that.
But
it's
it's just shocking to hear it come
No.
out of his mouth.
They
That's
all,
all.
they all say that. Ever since Ford, I think, they always say that. At the end of the presidency, they always make noises about bringing peace to the Middle East.
Because they know they don't have to deal
Exactly.
with it. Okay. now
Ford
I
did
get
it, Carter did it, Clinton did it, all the Bushes did it, Reagan did it. They
Oh.
always do that.
And then they pass the buck to the next president who does
starts all
nothing.
over again.
Exactly.
And then at the end of their term, now I get it.
Yeah.
It's to make him as way to drum up his approval rating and
Make him go out
look
with a
good.
smile, sort of thing. Yeah.
Sure. It's like a gesture, but it's not much more than that. Okay.
I regret to say I have not watched all of your program, but I have noticed that you are deep into Buddhism. I mean,
Oh,
some of
yeah.
the Buddhist concepts you bring out are very heavy.
Oh
It's very
sure,
cool.
I've done several really heavy duty Buddhist books over the last 6 months or a year, and
He picks the good stuff.
Well, actually, has
And-
Buddhism had a problem with intellectual thought, or actually, I don't think Judaism has been seen to be much of a hindrance either.
Yeah, that's right. Judaism, as far as I know, is not much of a hindrance, and Buddhism is not, and that's one of the reasons I like it, because they do encourage intellectual thought. They do encourage analysis of your thoughts and consciousness and behavior, which is all very critical. And one of the best things about it, I think, is they recognize the benefits of the practices of other religions. In other words, the prayers of the Catholics, in theory, would benefit them, and the prayers of the Jews, in theory, would benefit the Buddhists too. But on the other hand, their prayers they offer up would benefit the Jews and the Catholics too. So it's kind of like a two-way street, but it opens things up, which is the way it should be, because that's when you could have more knowledge, more power, more judgment being done by the masses and the common people, and you could evolve to a better, less restricted situation, or, as I even mentioned before, even the possibilities of a formation of new religions or new ways of doing things.
But the problem is, even when some of these religious leaders think they are being open,
Yeah.
I have a friend, Byron Ballard. She's one of the higher-ups in the local pagan community.
Oh, okay.
And she gets invited to quite a few interfaith conferences in Asheville.
Oh, okay, sure.
The problem is, interfaith conferences in Asheville usually mean, ooh, we got a Baptist and an Episcopalian.
Yeah,
That's-
interfaith Christian.
Well, interfaith,
Yeah,
you, at the most, maybe, if they're feeling really liberal, interfaith Judeo-Christian.
yeah, Judeo-Christian.
But get a Wiccan
yeah,
in
that's
there,
right.
and ooh.
Yeah, but what you, especially getting out into paganism, yeah, it's
Ecumenical,
just
that's
too
another one.
far out. Yeah, for them, sure.
But I do want to discuss.
Is Buddhist? Can a Buddhist be a Mason? That was along those lines.
Yes. Well, no.
It has to be
no.
monotheist.
Yeah. Buddhists
the
cannot
test
be
is
Masons.
monotheist,
Hindus can. Hindus can.
Hinduism is monotheist?
It is because they're all emanations of the one Godhead.
No.
I read up on that, but yes, Hindus can be made as. I don't think Buddhists could, because technically, according to standard Orthodox Buddhism, there is no God.
Yeah, there is. That's
Although
right.
I think in Siam they may elevate him to godhood. Isn't the Siam version kind of a?
Where they elevate the Buddha to godhood.
Well, they do. They seem to.
Well, sure, and that's the theme of Buddhism too. And in a sense, you're supposed to even do that with your Lama, your own personal teacher of Buddhism. When the sayings is the Lama is the Guru, so that's like the Lama is God. It's like the Lama is in sense, directly in touch to the enlightened state, and you're supposed to go under that assumption, even though it might not always seem that way from the habits or demeanors or attitudes of your Lama, because it mentioned this in one of the books I was reading. You're supposed to go under that assumption nevertheless, and to me that is kind of a big leap. And it's really putting too much trust in another person, the way I see it. Anyway,
if I could really believe the concept that God is South American furry and spits really good, I think I'd be okay with more religion.
Well, even the internal thing, are they recognized?
Puns.
Are they recognized externally as a monotheist? Because you can go with this theory as like really it's all the same God,
Right.
and they're just different versions, and it's all the same God. But that only applies to monotheism. It has to be monotheist.
You have to be monotheist. That is one of the rules. I personally don't know.
It
If
doesn't
there
work
are
if
any
it's
representatives
either
of the
polytheist.
Masonic community here in Ash who'd like to comment on whether Buddhists can be Masons, I invite you to come on down to the Mad Scientist Pete
Or Hindus,
with
yeah.
your permission.
Yeah.
I still want to know what you
You
went.
might invite him to your show or whatever.
Yeah.
What?
I still want to know what you went.
The Elvis guy.
Yeah.
We filmed Elvis last night.
We had an Elvis impersonator.
Oh
last night.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him on briefly.
Oh, he was an
I turned
impersonator.
it down because I'm not a
Yeah.
big Elvis
Yeah.
fan, but I liked how
Well, I
it
wanna
was
thank you very
filmed
much.
with
Thank
the
you very
two
much.
cameras
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That was kind of cool.
That was Ben.
Yeah.
Well, just
Ben
thank
got
you very
Ben
much. Thank you very
camera
much.
happy last night. Did you?
I don't know. I think a lot of people really liked the whole double image.
Yeah,
he
it
had
was-
going
Thank
on.
you, thank you, thank you
Really
very
liked
much.
He used it quite a bit.
it. He did.
Yeah,
but
he
I
used
mean,
it
I
extensively,
Was
but
he
I thought
good?
it was okay. Yeah.
Was he good?
I think yeah.
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you
good.
very
You know,
much,
Ben,
thank you very
Ben
much.
stepped up to it, and I think Ben did got really creative, and I liked the job that he did. We had.
It was a great show.
Great show.
Is it on YouTube now?
Not
No,
yet.
not yet. Ben's well, I mean, it was just less than 24 hours, and Ben's got a lot of stuff on his plate, so
I
it'll
see.
get on YouTube
I
when
see.
Ben. can
I'm
get to it.
disappointed that he slept before it hit YouTube.
Well, I mean,
I
we've
think we're
got a
all
lot
slow
of. There's a
with
lot
this.
of editing that needs to be done in the name of Mount Dungeon in the next month.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, Ben and Megan both have a lot on their plate. It'll happen at some point.
Well, thank you very much.
But I think it's great. I mean, the amount of variety that we have had musically that, I mean, just our group has been responsible for putting on. I mean, we've got a lot of variety, and we've had an Elvis impersonator, and that's just, that's
That's
one
great.
more check.
Yeah,
that's one more
that's
thing
great.
we've done.
Sure.
Can you tell who's real and who's not there?
Well, we had one here. The first
What
one.
do you mean?
What do you mean
who's
who's
real?
real and who's not?
Well, just keep watching.
Oh, okay. There we
Casey,
go.
I see,
Oh wow,
I
there
see
was
Casey
two
back there.
KCs.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
there's two
Wow,
KCs.
there was two
The world is
KCs
filled
that
with
we
KCs.
had. Oh wow, that's a trip. I split in two.
No,
Huh.
it was me. There was a second me that wasn't real.
Oh, okay, he did it to you too.
Sitting in back, yeah.
Okay. Aha. Which he?
Not only that, I dropped one of these off at Anderson Nissan.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't
I would
give the
include it
contract
both
to
now,
you.
sorry. Now I'm with
It's okay.
Oh,
They're gonna look it over anyway.
Okay.
No, not yet.
I left my power cable here last
Oh,
night,
no.
so I couldn't
Oh,
charge
no.
up my computer to type anything. That was the
It's
problem.
okay. It's okay. We're gonna talk to. A conversation about that is going to take place in a few days.
Okay, cool.
I gave it off, and I've been told we're going to look this over. And
I'll have a
everything,
contract ready for you then. Have you seen this? This is the sponsorship packet that we put
Oh,
together.
good. No.
Yeah.
Is this just strictly Mount Dungeon?
This
That's
is
strictly Mount
this is the Mount Dungeon version. We're going to have a Mad Scientist version.
Okay.
you.
Good work. Very good. I will look.
Organized.
Oh, right. Well, this good.
This is
Okay.
currently the only copy. Is it?
No.
Well, that's like Ben printed out a few. Like I picked up a couple from Ben.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Can I take this and look at it later, or?
That actually is. I have that for Randini in mind,
Right.
who I'm kind of surprised he's not here. Kind of
I
expecting-
know. That's another thing that was on my mind. I was expecting Randy
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, where
He
is
usually comes
Randy?
on Tuesday
Randy?
because he
Where
has a
are
show
you?
after us.
Yeah.
You know.
Where are you, Randy?
If we do land the Elvis impersonator as a sponsor, I'd like to get more sponsorship for more of the shows, like your shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, John and I talked about it.
He's going to make a spot up just like I got a spot from you.
Okay.
He's gonna make
Yeah,
one.
and I could. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little spot. Can make a little spot for the Tea Party here, and then John can make a similar spot
Well-
for Casey Waters.
Well,
Or
yeah.
what do you think?
In a minute.
I'm thinking of for a 10% commission, getting you sponsors who pay you actual money.
Oh. Okay, that sounds like a very good idea.
If you'll-
we need to talk about this in more detail,
Oh, yeah.
maybe right after the show
Okay,
ends.
sure.
All right.
And,
All right.
That's intriguing, and that's something I always wanted. And I'm a
Is my phone
little,
ringing?
I am not aggressive in the sense of being my own
It's
salesperson.
Randini.
Right.
It's
So
Randy.
that's why I need
Randy,
help.
Where are you,
where
Randini?
Where are you? Bye, Randy.
But if we can get a good
You're-
way
oh,
of
well,
doing
good
it,
luck with that.
I'd like to use it
Sorry-
for other
sorry-
shows.
sorry
'cause
to hear
people need
that.
more money here.
Well, actually, you're right. And
You turned
and
off.
There's a lot of good shows here at
Okay.
Core TV. That's
All right. Well, good luck with that, and sorry to hear about it. I hear it's very painful. Do you want me to say that on the air or not?
If he doesn't, we're gonna make something up.
All right, drink a bunch of cranberry juice.
I think I know what's going on.
Diuretics.
He's having
On
his
what?
period?
Huh? Cranberry juice. I'm gonna sue Kidney Stone.
That's
Okay.
a retarded joke.
All right, bye
That's
bye.
a distinct possibility.
Yeah, I've had
right.
a kidney stone.
My father had kidney
Yeah.
stones. He did not enjoy them.
Bad stuff. Well, Randy, we're sorry to hear you're
Yeah.
in pain. Our heart goes out
That's
to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're just talking about the various spots and all, and if I've this.
Well, all right. In that case, since he's not going to be here today,
Oh, okay. Then I can take it home and read
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good. Okay. Do you mind if I fold it and stuff? I mean,
We can print out more. It's no
no,
problem.
I had that with Randy in mind, but since he's not going to be here today,
okay, I'll put it in here, and then later after the class and stuff, I'll.
yeah.
So what's the stuff in my pocket? All right. Yeah. We've got. This is the first episode that's going to run a a copy of the promo for the pleasure saucer. See, he made me a spot. I told him, I said, make me a spot for the to
Oh,
run.
for the pleasure saucer.
Right,
okay.
and if all my editing came together right and everything, then I'll have that showing here. It's a little early to run the end spot, but in a minute I'll run the end spot.
When you get close to the end, you're gonna run it.
I
Okay,
have been
yeah.
slacking a bit lately. We've been doing reruns
No.
for a while.
No.
But this week, we're going to have a new episode. It's going to be a new
Yep.
episode this week, yes.
All right. And you're working on a sponsor for that show. We won't talk about, but
Well, I'm actually going to meet said mystery sponsor tonight, hopefully.
Good.
Maybe work something out, which would be